Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Broston County, episode number 27 in the Two Builders, One City series, where I am building the region of Broston County with my good friend, Destin. And yes, we actually have video from Destin this week. I am so excited. I'm not mocking the guy, seriously. I am genuinely thrilled to have this back. I think it's been missing. This is a Two Builders series, and you need to be able to see him build. You know, he doesn't do his commentary, so there's no point in me having the full 25-minute recording at full speed or normal speed. So I do speed it up 500%, brings it down to just a little over, well, just under 6 minutes by the time I ramp the speed back down and everything at the end. But yeah, I am absolutely thrilled to have video from Destin again. We only have a handful more of Broston County videos. I'm looking right now on the hard drive I record to. After this, we've got 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and 33. So 6 more after this. So after I get done with my part of today's build, I'm going to bounce it right back over to Destin. I feel as though maybe because of his recording problems and other things that his fingerprint, his influence isn't as present as I was hoping. So I want to, before we wrap up the series, make sure he gets those opportunities to have a bit more of an impact upon the city or region. It's more than just one city at this point. It's several different cities, which I kind of like that it went that direction, that things are kind of spread out, that there's gaps here and there. I dig it. I really do dig it. So, notes from Destin. He calls it a kind of short recording, but hey, you know what? It's better than what we've had. Hopefully we do get some more longer ones from him. I'm going to try to encourage him to do like a really long one. Even if maybe he has to do it like in a couple settings, or sittings, we'll see. Anyways, so he added a few blocks of residential to what he's calling New Town, though it's been around for a little while now, but it is the town that he built up out over here in this part of the map, just down the road from the university campus that I built. He also added a crematorium at some point. I think it maybe because we were going so fast we didn't see it, but basically just to help the cemetery empty out. That was the main point of that. And then, of course, we're watching right now, adding some more assets to the nature reserve so he can get up to a level 5, which is awesome. It's a pretty compact area, and it just sits up on this little hill. I really am curious to see where he's going to go, to kind of like if he's going to bring the city out this way. That was my goal, is to bring development way out here, but I don't know. We'll see. And of course, he also added in more commercial, and we've seen that a lot already. One of the things that he didn't note that we'll see in just a couple minutes is he also updated, there's the crematorium. He also updated the bus routes through the area that he's been building on. It was not serviced by buses. One thing that I continue to find curious, is the connections to the collector. Even though it's just a 2-lane road right there to the right, it does lead out to that state highway. So that is a collector going up in front of the stadium and along through there. And we've got a lot of freaking connections to local roads on that thing. So hopefully it doesn't become a problem. Last I checked traffic, it was flowing at about 82%, which isn't bad. But then again, that is across the entire region. So there may be areas you can't really rely on just the percentage, because you could still have spots where the traffic is really backed up, but in other places it's flowing so well that overall you're not bringing anything down. So definitely you have to keep an eye on that. I like that he went through and did detailing, even if it was just putting in a few trees. Still, it makes a big difference, and it's a lesson that I could learn from him for sure. I think the area where he added some commercial was the area where I was planning on building a parking lot. Yep, sure is. I was going to build a parking lot for all the stadiums and everything over there. Well, not going to do it now because I would have to tear down a bunch of commercial. Looks like he struggled for a second to try to find his path through here, but he got there in the end. It is just a one-way path. Doesn't loop back on itself, so you got to go all the way around if you're wanting to go somewhere else. He did take the number of buses down. I went through when I recorded and brought them back up. We had about 300 people waiting at the bus transfer station over there, and it was just a little bit much. So slowing down time here, bringing it back down, because that pretty much wraps up what Destin built today. All in, definitely took care of a lot of the residential demand, though it's going to pop right back, and some of that commercial demand. So we're looking pretty good, and we're going to go ahead and switch over into my section of the build, where we're going to build another neighborhood out by the airport. And here we are, right back over where Destin left off. It looks like he may have let the game run for a little bit, though no, I guess not, because these haven't upgraded yet. I was looking at the commercial first and saw that they were upgraded over here to the left, just below this. One thing we are going to do today is we're going to relocate our airline headquarters to over here, and you'll see why. We're going to be bringing a road in over here, and I think this makes kind of a nice area. We're going to kind of bring a bridge in across this way. It's going to come up and then turn and come back down, and we're going to set the airline headquarters back off of that and kind of make it its own little campus instead of just being tucked in over here. And then we're going to get a couple more blocks of office and commercial. Right now there is no office or industrial demand. We do have an office spot zoned there, and we even have more industry zoned here, but none of it's filling in because there is no demand whatsoever. And if we take a look at our population, you can see we're sitting at 5% unemployment, so that doesn't really drive a whole lot of industrial demand. We're no longer importing any goods. In fact, we're exporting, so that doesn't drive industrial or office demand either. So just some things that we keep in mind. So what I want to do is just grab a dirt road real quick. I want to, let's find where this starts curving, which is right there. And then I'm just going to use this as a little measuring tool. So that's where it starts curving there. And then down here, it starts curving on that one. So we're going to bring that one back 80 and then just see how long this is. It is 2,000. So 1,000 is our midpoint. I want to make a node there and then bring that across and then get rid of these. And I know that may seem silly, but I now want to bring a collector in right here. And honestly, we probably don't need this big of a road for such a small area, but it's what I'm going to do anyway. I do know that I want this to eventually come across over here, so I'm going to go ahead and do this bridge, mainly because we have two different elevations, and I could go ahead and correct that, I bet. If I bring my brush size down, I'm pretty sure it's this side that's higher. Whoops. I always forget to, press the right button. So we'll grab that elevation and come over here. Yeah, it's definitely that side that's higher. Okay. So what I want to do is right where the bridge is going to come across, I want to raise this up just a bit right here on the end. So I have a flat pad there, and then we're going to grab that and come to about here and slope up to it. Just so we have a nice gentle slope up, and this can stay on the ground until it reaches that bit right there. Cool. So we now want to build up to that, and for that I want to look at my train heights and just kind of eyeball where this bridge is going to go, probably about that angle. Yeah, so we're going to bring it back this way, right, like that is good. And then we're going to use our curved road tool just to make a nice curve into there. Excellent. And then we're going to bring this over. We will bring it to right there. And then I'm going to change this right away. Let's get out of this view. We don't need it anymore. I just don't like that particular bridge. So we're going to just upgrade it to something that looks a little nicer. I think that looks better. And then we'll go back to this road here. So over here, I know that I want this to kind of come up, straighten out back here, and then kind of curve back down, just missing the fence and kind of then curving into this area over here. Now for this, I am going to pause because we're getting rid of some roadways right here. Probably didn't need to go that far back, but we're there, so we're going to live with it. I also want to, this is just an oversight, I never changed this road in front of our bus terminal to a one-way, and I intended to do that for the longest time. So it's fixed now. So we'll run this to be even with there, and then flip that around. And then this is going to be, there is no exact middle point right here. It's 600. Well, maybe there is an exact middle point. 300 would be exact. Ah, there is no 300. Okay, that's, I remember there was something about it. Yeah, there's 600, but there's no 300, which seems odd. 280 and 320. We could maybe do something like this. No, even doing road length, it's still, those are my choices. So there is no exact middle, and that's fine-ish. I'm okay with it, really. So it goes that way for no really good reason other than the fact I want this bend here, because this is going to become the campus for this building. So I'm going to grab it and just drag it over here and move it. And then I'm going to bring up my train heights. And I'm not going to back it all the way against the river, but I am going to get it close. But first I want to get my angle right here and just kind of, yeah, that's about where I want it. I just want to leave a little bit of room behind there to put a path. And then I'm just going to come in with a road. Just a decent road here and go, whoa, hi, go right in front of this thing. And it just kind of got to eyeball it because it doesn't snap to the grid and anything like that when I'm doing this in front of this building. So do that, and then just to be sure that the building really is square on that, we will move it this way and then drop it into place like that. I don't know that I needed that to be a bicycle path, though. We don't really have bicycle paths going out this way, so I don't really see the need to suddenly start doing so. So I'm going to bring this up just a smidge, and then same thing on this side of the curve. Just, well, it does not want to cooperate with that, does it? I wonder why. There it let me do just 240, but here it's just like, I say, Is there an extra node there? Is that the problem? No, there was no extra node there. Whatever. So we will now come in with our curved road tool and curve that on in there. Curve that on in there. And then on this side of the building, I want to come in with just a regular old road. And actually, I need to bring this out straight a little bit farther. Yeah, okay. But I need a parking lot right here, and I can't get it there. So I need to bring this just like a couple of nodes more this way. And now, if I'm very, very careful, there we go. I can do that. And we're going to bring that right alongside of there. Now we can figure out where we want these to go. And it looks like I'm going to get away with the same spot. Yeah, 240 there. And we'll try again here, even though we know it's not going to like it. Fine, whatever. Do it manually. And we'll put that there. And I know the game's still paused. There's a good reason for that. And then I want to divide this in half right here on this section. So that's about there, roughly. And then we're just going to come in with parking. This is nowhere near ample parking for the size of this building. I mean, this is only, what, 144 parking spots? And obviously more than 144 people would work there, but we're going to pretend. So we're going to get rid of that parking structure because it is going to be in our way. And now we need to come down here, back this off just a bit. Take a deep breath. And then come in here and bring this out. I want to preserve my landscaping. I was going to not worry about it, but I decided I want to keep it. Even though it's curved on the end, I don't know, it kind of can be a tribute to what was there. And I'm totally okay with that. So we've got one way coming out that way. We've got one way going in this way. So I want to probably back that off a little bit more and find a good spot for this to sit, which will be, this is where I could snap to it. So what I'll do is bring this up 1.5 here. Yeah, this is going to make this a trick to get this to curve and meet up there. We may have to, like, bring it up and around a little bit. Like this. Not that harsh. Like, about there is good. And then if I use my curved road tool, it's a little wonky, but I'm here for it. And then I'm going to get rid of that we just built, which I know seems silly, but that's because I want to now split this collector. And we're going to do that by, first of all, giving myself a little guideline here. I just want to know where that halfway point is. Right there. Cool. And I'm going to do the same thing up here. Just give myself a little guideline. Awesome. Because that's going to be, I'm going to come out to there. And then that should, yeah, give me a nice little thing I can snap to here. So that's, I'm just trying to make sure I get this the same on both sides. I may need to come down a little bit sharper. Probably. And then I want to do the same thing over here, but I'm going to have to use Anarchy this time. And that's about the same. And then I'm going to try to use the curved road tool. I think it'll curve in there nicely. Yeah. And then we need to flip this one around. Get rid of our little guide roads. And then come out of this and into this. I want to go ahead and square this up. And it's still quite horrid looking, but the next bit's easy. You just grab and move it and kind of grab one of them a little bit and move it over. A little rock. Turn off prop anarchy. That's what's been making everything pop through, by the way. Prop anarchy. I've been going crazy over that, and that's all that it was. And then here, just want to make sure nobody is going to try to turn and go that way. Final thing is, since we do have an operational building down here, we need to go ahead and get some water pipes back in for this friend. So we will do that real quick. There we go. Cool. So, last thing over here, and then we will move on to our brand new neighborhood. Turn off Anarchy just because we don't need it anymore. At least not for now. And turn all of this back on. Bring this out. Bring that in. And then I'm going to do another block here, maybe all the way up to the edge. Can I get away with it? Not quite, so we'll go to right here at the edge of this park. Trying to get it lined up with that walkway just a little bit, and that looks like I can't quite, so we'll go to this side of it, and then the crosswalk will be there, and on that side. Cool. We do need some water here as well. I can unpause the game now. We're no longer doing anything that's going to cause issue. And then, oh, we have a weird happening. That's just because I think that's where the building was, and it just left behind. So I can just come out into Anarchy, tap that, and it's fine. I did turn Anarchy back off. Awesome. So then even though we don't have office demand, we're still going to zone some offices. Not a lot. You're going to do a little bit of commercial right there, and then just a skosh right here along the riverbank. Just some smaller buildings. Maybe a couple threes there. Cool. The commercial is going to fill out immediately because we have commercial demand. And the nice thing is, because I've been letting this run while I've been doing all this other stuff, our residential demand has popped back up. So now we're going to move back over to here where... Over to here. There it is. I got lost. Wait. Did I not make a little road that... Oh, yeah, it's this road, Brandon. Jeez. That's right. I built a road and totally forgot that it was there. And I'm like, wait, where's my little guide dirt road? Which it's here. But I'm not paying attention. That's kind of cool to see people already using this. And the whole purpose of that was, I mean, this wasn't a cul-de-sac here, but this was going to be if I didn't have this connection. And then that connection here kind of informed, well, why don't we just make this guy his own little campus? I know it sits at a weird angle to that, and I'm okay with it. I want to bring this back a little bit, just so we have a buffer here. Actually, I'm just going to come up here and do this. So bear with me. A little bit of a grid. I know. But we are going to break it up and do a couple different things here. Yeah, I'm going to bring one there. Do we want more than one connection here? We'll make another connection up that way somewhere. For now, we'll just do this one. So we're going to do these few blocks right here. And then we're going to bump that out again like that. And then we're going to do a couple rows of just perfect squares. Now we're going to come back out of here because I don't need to see that anymore. And we're going to come back up this way again. But what I want to see is that's 1800. So at 900, I'm going to do this and change to a longer block. And then we're going to stop. Yeah, no. This is where I think maybe we should have not done these. Where is it that it goes straight? Right here? Yeah, let's get rid of all of this real quick. We'll fix it and put it back in a minute, but I want to bring that parallel mode a little farther back, which it should still be active. Yeah? Nope. Okay, fine. Yeah, let's bring that all the way to where the road goes straight, and then that way we know we're at the same separation from the highway, because we just bring this over here to the right. And then the handy thing about this road that we're using, this street, is it has a dotted line down the middle. Line that white line up with the dotted line right there, hit enter, and wha-bam, you have the exact same separation. You don't have to really pay attention or worry about it or anything like that. It's just correct. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to back a little bit of this off. Is this where it starts curving? Really more here. Yeah, right there's my last one. So we can get rid of that, and then we are going to grab the right road, and then we're going to once again parallel, starting here. And I'm not going to go very far back this way, mainly because there's not a whole lot of room to bring a road and loop it around. So we'll go to about here. And then switch the sides that it's on. And then do the very same thing. Just bring that over until the white line matches the dotted line here. Because there's an intersection, these nodes might not work out just right, but that's fine. We have a fix for that. Yeah, they didn't join. And I already know that it's not going to let me join them. That's okay, because this is... Well, that's not where it needs to be. Interesting. We can fix it. It's easy enough to fix. And then turn on create curve, bring that in, and done. The only thing that it did weird is you may have noticed the zoning is kind of strange. That's also easy to fix. You just come in with Anarchy turned on and quote-unquote upgrade it. And then anywhere that there's some weird zoning issues like here, just upgrade it. And it sorts them out. I like to go through and do the whole thing just to make sure that we're good to go. So at the outset, I know that we are getting very close on our education capacities. Maybe not so much with high school. We're starting to get close even on that. But in elementary school, we definitely need some more capacity. And so I want to add that in. So we're going to build a couple of school campuses. To do that, I'm going to bring this up. Actually, I'm going to need to go ahead and bring a road in here so that I know where it's going to be. And I know that roughly we're going to follow just in a straight line right up against the shoreline there. And then this is going to come down to right about here. This is going to come up to there, and then we're going to connect this with a nice curve. And then this area is going to be where our elementary school is going to go. We're also, because we don't have one over in this general area, we're also going to bring in a child care center that will help with the children's health. And then I'm going to use over here just a little bit just to do something different. We're going to bring in this building. I'm trying to think of where I want this to go. because there is something else I'm wanting to do here. I want to come in with my parking lots road and bring this back a pretty good distance here. And then just make some like faculty parking right here. And then behind here, the cool thing that we can do, because we have this road, and I want to now grab that and use Alt and just bring that back to about there. Yeah, that's good. We have these really small playgrounds, tiny playgrounds, which I can get 2 of them. And we have basketball and soccer. Let's make this one the play equipment. Yeah, that looks good. And then we're also going to bring in over here another playground. This is going to be the larger playground. I'm going to plop it here. And then what I want to do is back it off as far away from the road as I can get away with, which is right. Wow, it's letting me go pretty far. It's still not complaining about not being on the road. Okay, right there. Awesome. And then I want to turn it. So I'm going to have to like play with this a little bit to keep it happy. But I want it just as far off that road as I can get it. Cool. And then we will reconnect this up here. I'm going to turn all my snap twos off. You can do that. No, that space isn't already occupied. I'm fairly certain that is where a path should be going. Well, if it's going to say that, I'll just turn Anarchy on. Fine. So we're going to bring that in there. We're going to connect this path right here to this street. And then we are going to use this one to kind of just create like a little nature trail-ish thing along the riverbank. So it's going to double as, you know, an entrance to the park, which looks like I need to angle that around a little bit more. But it's going to double as an entrance to the park, but also just a trail that folks can walk on. It's not going to go very far. Let's get that right up here to the shores line, and there we go. And then I'm going to bring it back here to occupy a lot of this space that's back here. And then we could even maybe, you know, somewhere throughout here do some additional playground equipment. And maybe even have like a little shortcut through here. And then I also want to have another connection that comes off and down and around like about... Yeah, that's fine. There. So that gives us multiple ways in and out of that little area. And we can do some fun little detailing things with that eventually if I remember to detail. I want to use Picker. Picker, hello, there we go. Pick that. And then we're going to come way out here, highlight this whole area, hit that button, and get rid of all of those stupid, ugly fallen trees. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Cool. So let's go ahead, since we are starting to bring in some city services, and get some water pipes out here. Let's turn all of this back on, and then we'll come from over there, make a big swoop down that way, come up to that block, and come right back over there, and then we will connect it. Back here probably makes the most sense instead of going all the way down the highway. Yeah, this makes the most sense. So we will connect it back here. There, very good. We have water pipes under the road. Now, over here, I want to have a high school campus. And in said high school campus, I want to have, even though we've got some practice fields over here, I think we need some practice fields over here as well. So to accomplish that, the first one that I want, where are those? Here they are. I always forget where these are, and I don't know why. So I want a baseball diamond, I know, and I want a little bit of space so I get a path in behind it. So I'm going to bring in a baseball diamond, just like that. And I also want a soccer field, and I want that to go right here because of where its pathways work out. And then I want to bring in a football field as well, but I want it to come up off the side of a road here. so that I can orient it a little bit different. Never mind, it doesn't fit. I thought it would fit there. I thought it was a little bit smaller than that. So, what if I change gears then and move that to there, and then bring the football field up here? That should work fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. And I'm going to back it off just a little bit like that. So we've got this walkway here, kind of unnecessary by that, but we've also got this walkway, and that's the one that I'm really looking for here. And then I want to bring the actual high school in just right here. Just right, like, give it a little bit of space. Though actually, no, I'm not going to give it a little bit of space. We're going to put it right next to that because we also need to bring this up, not as a continuation of the neighborhood per se, though that's kind of going to be what it is. What were we doing there? 600. But I think we may have to go a little bit different here. No, that could work. Yeah, that'll work. Gonna bring that back that way, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring this on up and find a good place for this to make a 90 into here. That's a good place. We need parking. Lots and lots and lots of parking for the high school. Because, you know, high school kids start driving. I started driving, what, 10th grade? That's not far enough. These are 4. Okay, that's fine. That's easy enough. There? Is that where I want it? Yeah, that's where I want it. So we're going to bring that so that connects right there to that path. That works out even better. And then we're going to make, like I said, a pretty substantial parking lot here on both sides of this. And then this can also double up as parking for our sport ball areas. And then I just want a path that kind of comes in through this area. I'm going to turn off everything because we don't need all this. I'm going to have one that comes up from this corner and just kind of... It doesn't need to even mirror the road. It just needs to come like over to here. And then off of that, come up and around this, which we're going to use Anarchy and say, yes, we can put a road right there. And then we're going to bring it down to join into here. But then we're also going to bring it up and right there so that it's got some continuity to there. And then we're also going to bring it in. Let me go from this end. Just squeeze right in here between these guys and bring this down just like that. And then the game was right. I do want a connection there as well, though. Man, that did some strangeness to that. Let's fix that because I don't like it. I have to get rid of the whole thing. Let's try this again. Let's bring this closer over here. I think that was our problem right here. It still kind of looks weird. I think it's because we're going through the asset, so whatever. So that gives us our 2 campuses. Occupies quite a bit of real estate over here. I'm going to get some water pipes in, and then we are going to look at laying out the rest of this neighborhood. I am now going to come through here and continue building in a grid fashion, but with a little bit of variation here and there. Let's turn Anarchy back off. So resume doing this for a couple of blocks. And where it gets a little close that way, what we can do is do the square. And then come that way again. And now you see we start getting some... Even though we're doing a grid, it's breaking it up so that it doesn't feel as grid-like, even though it's very much a grid. Is this where I want this to be? Yeah. So I'm going to get this all laid out the way I want it, and then we will talk about zoning. So we need city services over here. I do want to have some elder care, and we're going to kind of do its own little campus as well, right here. We'll bring in a park or two to kind of help with the feeling of a campus. We will eventually get around to building the campus for this guy, but that will be right there. This is all going to be a city park. It's not going to be anything fancy. It's just going to have some basic city park amenities. I don't like that I already have colored outside the lines. I'm going to stay snapped to that road. Kind of looking forward to the new district builder for Cities Skylines 2 in just 7 weeks from now, 6 weeks from now, something like that. Cool. Chester Garden. So we maybe name this Chesterfield over here. I don't know. Anyway, healthcare. We want a clinic over here. We'll put that on this corner, and then we are going to come in right behind it and drop in a cryo preservatory. And then we also want fire coverage. We'll do our fire. Let's actually... What will give me the best distribution here? Either way, we're going to be leaving a side out. So... unfortunate. Before I forget about it, I want a post office, and I want to make sure I get it on the right corner because these just look right. This doesn't matter as much on placement, so we'll do that there. So that was fire coverage. We need police coverage. We'll pop that in right there as well. Again, there's nowhere for me to get it perfectly balanced, and that's just gonna be how it is. So that gets our city services. I want to do some retail in through here, but not, you know what, we can put it right on the collector, it'll be fine, but not down here. We don't want it down there on the collector, so we'll end right there and we'll end right here. And this is going to be a big chunk of shopping through here, like big. We're not going to do anything in behind here. In fact, we may even build another park. Just make this the area O Parks. I can see there being some good synergy with some retail right here by these sporting facilities. So yeah, I am going to go ahead and do just a bit more retail there and here. Cool. Then the rest of this is pretty much going to be residential. We might down here by where this park is going to go do just a strip of commercial like in through here. Probably not going to build anything on this side of the road other than this bit of commercial, and just leave this and put some trees in. So let's get this all zoned, and we're just going to start with the paintbrush and go nuts. Not going to worry about paths or anything. We'll come back and add those in a moment. So let me get all of this filled in. Cool, so that has everything zoned. Now I want to come through and look at where I need paths to kind of make this all make a little bit of sense. That should be all the paths we need on this side. And over here, other than around our elder care facility, I don't think we need any at all. Cool, that gets our buses and trains all sorted. And what I'm going to do is we're just going to park right here for a little bit and watch as this area begins to fill in. It is going to take a little while because we don't have a ton of demand at the moment for residential, and the bulk of this is residential. I'm hoping, though, that this residential push will spur these offices and maybe even some of this industry to start doing something. And by something, I mean, you know, building. Wow, we've got some traffic, but that's only because the buses are all trying to go right there right now. So that'll sort itself out. So let's grab... There's no good angle that like sees all of this from one shot. So that's going to be about the best we can do. Yeah. This is going to take a while. So I'm going to let this run as a quote-unquote time lapse. And then we'll just jump to once it's all kind of filled out. So I'll let it time lapse for just a little bit. half hour has transpired, and it's filled out quite nicely. In fact, we've had lots of upgrades. I did make a couple of changes. Now, where did they go? There we go. Over here, I put in a few of our tiny parks. One with a gazebo. The others I meant to have gardens. I couldn't really tell what I was doing from the angle that I was at. And I didn't want to change the camera angle. There we go. Just a nice little community garden right there with some trees. I did, of course, add just a nice dense layer of trees between the neighborhood and the highway, so you don't even really see the highway over there at all. You do see a rock on the sidewalk, though. And that also leaves a place, so anywhere that I have park coverage lacking, I can just like bring in a nice little dog park. And we've got a little buffer zone there. Like way over here, we've got a lot of problems. But I'm going to fix those, and it's going to be the last thing we're going to do. We're just going to throw together a quick little park here. Again, not a very fancy park at all. It has pretty good entertainment value, but nothing elaborate. It doesn't need to be elaborate. It just needs to be a little park down here, and that should have, yeah, see, that satisfied most of the demand for a park down that way. Easy, easy, easy. So what we'll do down here is just throw another dog park because we can, because who doesn't love a dog park? And then up here, we can come in to this area and maybe use one of our small parks over here by our elder care facility. And for this one, well, you know, we could do just another community garden. I think we'll give the elder care facility a nice little pond. And that gets perfect park coverage all throughout there. Traffic comes and goes. Honestly, this can be fixed mostly by doing one little thing, letting these guys just go through. And if they're blocking the box and they get through, everything else flows. Very pleased with the progress we've made today, as my voice gave out mid-sentence there. Interestingly enough, still nothing happening with these industrial blocks that haven't filled in. They have city services. They're covered by everything quite well. So I don't really know what is preventing these guys from upgrading. They even have emergency services coverage. It's just, I don't know. They have buses that come along this road and everything. They don't want to fill in. Same over here with these offices. They're just doing nothing. We just have zero industrial demand. We're still exporting, so who knows? About the only thing I'd be able to do to drive that would maybe build another warehouse, which occasionally I did notice some of these guys complaining about not enough buyers for products. So if we slap down another one of these big honkers, like right here, like do that, change that to commercial zones, and then make sure we're not importing. I don't want to pay to fill that. I'll just let industry fill that as they can. Maybe that will spur some more growth. I doubt it, but it's, you know, worth a shot. But yeah, I like our new little area over here. This is about as far out on the map we're going to go. We're not going to do anything out this way. Just not. It's looking pretty good. Are people using the park? Yeah, one whole person, 20 people total. I could use a fence, so maybe we can put a fence in, but we'll do that off camera and worry about that later. We'll have some green spaces, we'll have some trees. We've got to get some detailing done. I just don't know when I'm going to do it with only 6 videos left. But that's all a problem for future Brandon. So until then, I am Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.